So, week 4 of the NFL is now here. Today's Thursday, and which means the Dolphins will be playing the Cincinnati Bengals in the all-white uniforms. They look so clean. So, I think those are my favorite my new favorite jerseys, or like combination in the NFL. Overall record is right here, popping up on the screen. We're not doing the greatest this year, but the NFL's been really wild. Like, Jaguars are in first place, Cooper Rush is undefeated. It's an interesting time in the NFL, but we're going to get going now. The first game, Miami at Cincinnati. I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. Look, I know it's weird because Miami Dolphins are doing very well right now. They just beat the Buffalo Bills last week, but see how the NFL works. Everybody thought the Bills were going to, or most people thought the Bills were going to beat the Dolphins. Dolphins shocked them and upset them. And now people are going to always think the Dolphins are just going to roll over the Bengals. And yes, they have a really good roster. I don't see how the Bengals are actually going to win this game, but I just think that's how the NFL works. Crazy stuff's going to happen. Bengals are going to take over the win. Minnesota at New Orleans. I think this is in London. So, yeah. I'm going to go with Minnesota. Quick, easy win here. They struggled against Detroit, but I think they're going to figure out their stuff against New Orleans. In New Orleans. And when it comes down to New Orleans and Minnesota, New Orleans is on the best track history when it comes to that game.
The pass is caught! Sideline! Touchdown!
So, I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings here. Cleveland at the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons picked up a huge week in Seattle last week. I got that one right, but I think Cleveland is going to steamroll over the Falcons and take out the Birds. Washington at the undefeated Cooper Rush Dallas Cowboys. Give me Dallas in Dallas. 2-1. Cooper Rush goes 4-0 as a starter. 3-0 this year, taking out Carson Wentz and the Washington Commanders. Washington is just not looking too good. They had a good first game against Jacksonville, but they almost even lost that game, and they got steamrolled by Philadelphia. So I think Dallas is going to win in Dallas, especially against Washington. I don't think Washington's got the team to really do much this year. And yeah, Seattle at Detroit. Give me the Detroit Lions right there, baby. I think they're going to actually make it pretty easy to beat Seattle. Seattle took the loss last week against the Atlanta Falcons, and then Detroit picked up a huge win they lost against Minnesota last week, but they almost picked up a huge win over the Minnesota Vikings, and they definitely could have easily won that game. So I think Detroit's going to come right back out, beat Seattle, get back onto the winning ways. Tennessee at Indianapolis. This game could go either way. Honestly, this is a coin flip. Both teams aren't progressing the way you'd think they would, but I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts here at home. I think they'll be able to beat the Tennessee Titans. I think this will be probably a split game. Like, when it goes to Tennessee, I think Tennessee's going to win. But right now, because it's in Indianapolis, I'm going to take the Colts on this game. Chicago at the New York Football Giants. This game can go either way. Giants taking a huge L to the Dallas Cowboys last week on Monday Night Football, primetime. Daniel Jones is 0-8 or 0-9 now or something like that, so that's not good. Chicago Bears picking up a win against Houston last week, but it wasn't an impressive win, and they almost actually lost that game. Who do I think is going to win here? Upset. I'm going with the Chicago Bears. Yeah, I'm taking the Bears in the New York Giants territory. I think the Chicago Bears are just going to kind of make a huge splash and somehow upset the Giants at home. Don't ask me why it's going to happen. I just think that's what's going to happen. And the Giants will take 2 L's in a row, and I think the Bears are going to pull up the win. The 2-1 Jacksonville Jaguars at the 3-0 Philadelphia Eagles. Doug Peterson returns to Philadelphia after winning them a Super Bowl. And both teams at the top of their respective divisions. So do I think Jacksonville is going to end the undefeated streak of the Philadelphia Eagles? Not that night. I think Philadelphia is just really good, and Jalen Hurts is actually doing a fantastic job as a QB. And as a Dallas fan, it hurts to say that, but their team is actually very well put together, well coached, and players want to win. So I think Philadelphia's going to win. I do think Jacksonville's actually going to put up a decent amount of fight against Philadelphia, and I'm rooting for the Jags in this game, but I think Philadelphia takes the dub. They go to 4-0, and I think after this week they're going to be the only undefeated team in the NFL. The New York Jets against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's go Pittsburgh here, boys. Pittsburgh hasn't been taking the greatest, they've been falling off. Since their first game, they looked really good against Cincinnati, and then they lost 2 in a row. They're not looking the greatest. I think this is a bounce-back game for Pittsburgh, and New York falls deeper down in debt. However, Zach Wilson is, I think, available to play for the Jets. I think it's going to take him a while. I don't know if he's going to start this game, and the only reason why I'm picking the Steelers, if Zach Wilson was in this game, I think I'd take Zach Wilson and the Jets to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I don't know for sure if he's going to be playing, and at the same time, even if he does, it's going to take kind of a while to get adjusted to. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh this week, and we'll come back to New York next week and see how that works. Buffalo Bills at the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens taking a huge win against the New England Patriots. Bills taking a tough L to the Miami Dolphins. Bills bounce back. They take the dub. Ravens are at a steady pace. They won, they lost, they won. I think they're going to go back to losing once again. So, yeah. The Los Angeles Chargers against the Houston Texans. Texans are 0-2-1. That is a very interesting record to have on the season. Chargers are 1-2. They took a huge surprising L to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Justin Herbert, I'm pretty sure a big reason of it is because he's still injured from what happened in the KC game. I think they're going to bounce back. They go into Houston, they roll them over. Easy dub for the Chargers, especially if Keenan Allen ends up playing that game. Okay, so my face cam cut out for a bit, but I'm going to just hop back in where it did cut out. Arizona at Carolina. What I was saying basically is I ended up taking the Cardinals because I think their defense has a better chance of stopping Baker Mayfield and their Carolina offense, and that's why I took the Arizona Cardinals, especially after the players, they seem like they really want to win. New England at Green Bay without Mac Jones there. I wish them a speedy recovery. I hope he gets better soon because it's not fun when your starting QB or anybody starting is out. So without him, I think this is going to make it really tough for New England to win, especially going into Lambeau Field. I take Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Now we're back up, catching up to where I ended up figuring out my face cam. 2-1 Denver Broncos. Broncos country, let's ride with the 0-3 Las Vegas Raiders. I think both these teams are very disappointing in the NFL year. And what I mean by that is that the Broncos have played terrible in every game. There's not a game where they should have won, but they did because the other teams just didn't do that good. And the Raiders are 0-3 with games they should have won, blown, and then Devontae Adams. I know one player usually doesn't make your team, but when it's Devontae Adams, he kind of does. And your defense and your coach, you think you'd have everything to put together a team, and you're 0-3. How? And you just blew that to Arizona. So it's a very tough decision, but they're in Las Vegas. Raiders finally get the win, and if they don't do it here, then if you look back at my NFL tier list on my main channel, you'd be laughing because of this. Please get a win. Turn your shit around, Vegas, because a lot of people losing a lot of money betting over there for you. All right. Kansas City at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 2-1, 2-1. Both teams got the same exact record, only one difference. Kansas City's the better team. Tom Brady's actually looking like his age for once in his damn career, and it's not looking too good. So KC takes down Tampa and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay have to move locations and train in the Miami Dolphins facility because the hurricane came over. I think it was Hurricane Ian or something. That's what it was called. I forget what it was. But it was unfortunate, and they had to move there. They are going to go to Tampa to play the game, but Kansas City beat Tampa Bay, and they improved their record. The Rams taking on the San Francisco 49ers in Monday Night Prime Time. Jimmy G came back last week and reminded us all why Jimmy G is Jimmy G. And so I'm taking the Rams. Not much to say. I think the Rams are just a better team. And yeah, and I think the total point spread around here is going to be... So I think it's going to be around 41 points based on this Monday night game. I think, don't quote me, but I think they're going to 24-17 Rams beat the Niners. So, those are my picks for this week. Hope you guys do enjoy them. Let me know what your picks are in the comments down below. And I will see you next time. Peace out. Go subscribe to this channel and my main. See you in the next one. Peace.